New guitar day. So I have been looking at Firefly guitars. Yeah, so I did an unboxing of a Westcreek Racer guitar a few weeks back, maybe a couple months ago now, who knows. And anyway, I have since then been checking out Firefly a little bit. And this is just in the realm of, hey man, what are these budget guitars these days? You know, back when I started playing guitar, you know, you had to spend a whole lot of money to get something really nice. And a couple $100 didn't do much for you. So I bought a Firefly, and I'm gonna unbox that for you right now. And I know that a lot of people know about Firefly, and there's tons of other videos out on the interwebs of people with these Firefly guitars talking about them and those kinds of things, but I've never done it, so I'm about to, and we'll see what's up with the old Firefly situation here, if I can get this out of the box without destroying something. Let's do it this way. There we go. So, a lot like the you like that film work there? Nice picture of styrofoam. There we go. Anyway, a lot like the Westcreek guitars that I've seen unboxed, and the one that I have that I unboxed, and unlike a couple Harley Bentons that I've had come through here, they since gone. These things are packed in these little styrofoam cases. Some people call it a coffin, some people call it a sarcophagus. Ooh. Okay, so now, full disclosure, I don't have a lot of money to spend on fenders anymore. So I have, though, been playing a lot of Squires and a lot of Epiphones instead of Fenders and Gibsons, you know, like a lot of us have. This is my Squire Classic Vibe. But I bought the Firefly to see how does it stack up to something like this, understanding that I'm probably going to do something to the Firefly to bring it up to snuff, as it were. So this Squire Classic Vibe, I've done a whole lot of work to, and I've done a lot of fret work on it. I did the locking tuners because I like those. The old tuners didn't really keep tuned that well in my opinion. String tree, compensated brass saddles back here. Anyway, labor of love in the old Squire Telecaster. But I mean, by the time I bought that guitar, and I paid $450 for it, and then by the time I put locking tuners and compensated brass saddles, you get the drill, you spend a whole lot of money. So this is Firefly. Now I bought a cable, keys. I bought a guitar that I've never really had much interest in. Yet, I was interested in this one, mainly because it is more of a traditional looking Tele. And I like Teles. I've had Strats and all the stuff through the years, but this is a Firefly, and I have never done, now this is nice, okay. I'm going to start with the headstock here for the little reveal here. And so, yeah, so on the headstock, if you went to Guitars Garden right now and did a search for this guitar, it would not have this headstock shape. It would have some other, what I thought was a pretty weird looking Firefly, you know, more of a triangular kind of a headstock on it. And I saw somebody on the Facebook group, Firefly Facebook group the other day, talk about, hey, they just bought a Relic guitar, which, spoiler alert, which is what this is. Let me get this out the bag and we'll keep visiting about it. But anyway, he was on the social media, Facebook group, and he said, man, I just bought this Relic guitar, but the headstock that came with it wasn't the typical Firefly headstock. And from all I can tell, the typical Firefly headstock is, as I said, more of a triangular kind of a shape up at the top. And I really wasn't digging that, truthfully. So man, when I saw his post, that it looks more like the kind of traditional Fender looking headstock, I thought, man, I hope mine does. And sure enough. So, Firefly, yeah, it is a Relic thing, and I don't know what I think about it. I do know that I like the headstock, and so the Relic model comes with locking tuners here. I'm not sure if that's a bone nut or not. I know that you guys can look at the specs online. One thing I wasn't really expecting is it's a Relic neck. It's really rough and coarse. I guess I expected it to be discolored. I did not expect it to be rough. I expected it to be discolored, but somewhat have some kind of satiny kind of finish to it. You know what I mean? I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but it's just really rough. It's like, like you could feel all that grain, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of wild. I don't know what I think about that. Like I said, locking tuners, got the old string trees there that I'm sure I'll replace with something else. The back of it, you know, it just looks like they ran over it a couple times. And there's a couple of reviews out on the tube from different guys who have these, and I'm sure they'll do a more expert opinion. So this guitar has, I think that's supposed to be roasted maple neck. Like I said, right now, I just didn't expect the back of that neck to feel like that. That's one thing. The frets are supposed to be stainless steel. They are not polished very well at all. Can you hear that? Probably can. The fret ends, I don't feel fret sprout. They kind of have those rounded ball fret ends. And on some guitars like this, the frets aren't all level in terms of how close they come to the bottom or the top of the neck here. This one doesn't look too horribly bad in that regard. Maybe a couple are off, but nothing too crazy. But it's got some really cool kind of inlays here. They're not quite white or pearl, or kind of, they've got some coloration to them. Fretboard's pretty dry. And the truss rod adjustment is here in the heel of the neck, not up here at the top in a traditional tele sense. It's got that going for it. Traditional tele set up on the bridges. It's got some kind of oil or stain or something here. I don't know if that's a Relic thing or I don't know what. That's the thing about it. It's hard to tell if it's damaged because it looks so jacked up, you know. Got the different color string ends, but I don't know what kind of, I don't know if those are really the Dario strings or not. But anyway, so you got your basic bridge pickup, neck pickup, some kind of brass looking saddles. They don't seem to be, yeah, they look compensated. Yeah, they look like compensated brass saddles. Everything's kind of been sprayed with some kind of fake relic-y looking thing. But again, I'm a traditional tele guy, except now on this, of course, you've got the belly. You don't have a belly cut here on this, but you do have a little bit of, you got a curved heel joint here to some extent, and you've got a little bit of a cutout here so that you can get up the neck a little bit with greater ease. It's still pretty chunky right here, but they did take the corner off, which is kind of weird. So we'll see about that. Yeah, the switch. That's a switch, you know. Feels pretty good to me. It's not horribly too stiff, and it's not too flimsy side to side. The pots feel pretty good, I think. Look, I'm not an expert in any of this. I'm just a guy who's been playing guitar for a little while, and yeah, likes to check out $200 gear. So for me, this guitar I think was $189 at Guitars Garden, and I think I was 20 bucks in for shipping. I think it was all in about somewhere $216. So the question for me, and man, I just really, this neck, that's about the only thing, just looking at it, I expected this to not be glossy. I expected it to feel a little dusty is not the right word, but sandblasted is the right word. And I kind of expected this to be a little rough, but man, I just did not expect the back of this neck. I mean, it's just kind of, I don't know, maybe that's what a real antique guitar neck feels like. I ain't never had one, and I've never worn a neck out, so what do I know? But really, what I'm going to want to do over time is kind of compare these two guitars right here. Now I can already tell you, you can Google the specs and find out how much these guitars weigh, but I can certainly tell you that the Classic Vibe is much, much heavier than this. Let me switch hands just because I'm right-handed, so maybe my left hand is just feeling that as being heavier. No. Yeah, this guitar is clearly much heavier than this guitar. But all that said and done, I am going to want to kind of shoot these out maybe a little bit. I don't see any, I mean, fit and finish is like, it's hard to say. It's hard to do on a Relic guitar because I don't know what, it's all purposely so beat up looking that it's hard to tell where they missed anything. Now I guess I could critique whether or not I think that's a good Relic job, but I don't. Me personally, I don't care about the back of the guitar, and truthfully, I don't even care about the front. I was telling my wife the other day, I look at the neck when I play, or I look out front, usually the neck, or I'm either looking out or I'm looking down here. I'm not really checking, you know, the body, the paint job of the guitar. Well, anyway, yeah, Firefly FFTL Classic Series Relic, kind of this white looking thing, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to fire it up and see what's up with it. Maybe come back and do another video at some point down the road. Okay, hey, Firefly, you might want to check one out. Maybe not. Have a good night.